There's a bad debt and a good debt. While most people avoid debt, the rich keep getting richer because of it. How? Well, they have a secret. In this video, I'll tell you 5 ways how rich people actually make money with debt. If you're new to this, I am not lying. You can actually read these on Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So stick around because I'll break down how they do it and how you can actually start using these strategies yourself immediately. Let's get right into the video. We've all heard the saying, debt is the root of all evil. But is it really true? Well, yes, admittedly, there's truth to that idea that debt is bad. When you're deep in debt, it feels like your whole life is being drained by payments that never seem to end. That's a sad truth for a lot of people. Things like credit card bills, car loans, student loans, debt, and those things pile up, and it seems like there's no way out. But debt isn't inherently evil. In fact, it's one of the most powerful tools in capitalism. As long as it's used correctly, it can actually work in your favor. The truth is, rich people don't shy away from debt. They embrace it. Let me break this down for you. In the US, total consumer debt has soared to a staggering $17 trillion. That's right, 17 trillion. If there are 132.51 million households in America, on average, each American household is saddled with over 128,000 in debt. But here's what most people won't probably believe. Not all debt is bad. Sure, credit card debt, car loans, and student loans are examples of bad debt. But when you start using debt wisely, you can unlock wealth-building opportunities that many rich people use to get even richer. Let's get straight to the point. How do rich people use debt to make more money? The idea might sound strange at first. After all, why would someone with money want debt? Isn't debt for those who don't have the cash to begin with? Well, that's exactly the wrong way to think about it. In the world of business, sometimes borrowing money is the smartest move. Let me give you an example. Selling pens. It's a simple product and there's always a demand for it. Traditionally, you'd fly to China, find a supplier, and buy a container of pens to sell to your home country. But what if instead of using your money to purchase the pens, what if you borrowed them instead? China, over the past few decades, has become the factory of the world. Thousands of factories churn out products on a daily basis, and many of these factories will loan you the products, allowing you to sell them first and pay later. The catch is you need to establish some trust with these suppliers first, but if they trust you, you can borrow the products, sell them, and make a profit, all while not tying up your own capital. That's a massive advantage. The key takeaway is that sales skills are everything. You don't need upfront capital when you've mastered how to sell a product. Selling is the engine that drives this entire strategy. Now let's talk about real estate. This is where debt really shines. Real estate investors have been using debt to build wealth for decades, and it's a strategy that's still highly effective today. Let's say you've saved up $200,000. That's a lot of money, right? But if you want to buy property, it's simply just not enough. The trick here is to use leverage, which in this case means using borrowed money. Imagine you find a property for 500 grand. It's in rough shape and nobody wants it. Well, you can go to the bank, get a mortgage with a 20% down payment, which is $100,000, and then you're on your way. But here's where it gets interesting. You spend $50,000 renovating the property. So now, instead of the property being worth $500,000, the property is now worth $700,000. You go back to the bank and refinance the mortgage based on this new higher value, and now the bank gives you 80% of the $700,000, which is $560,000. And you can use that $560,000 to pay off the original mortgage of $400,000 plus the $50,000 you spent on renovations. That leaves you with an extra $110,000 in your pocket and a property that's now generating passive income. That's how smart real estate investors use debt to build wealth. Of course, let's not forget about the tax benefits. Oh, the tax benefits. Rich people actually use mortgages to write off expenses and to avoid higher tax bills. It's all about leveraging the power of refinancing. Now, let's move on from real estate and talk about hedge funds. These are essentially investment funds designed for the rich by the rich. But how exactly do hedge funds make money with debt? Hedge funds often use strategies that the average investor would never consider. While most of us try to pick stocks that will increase in value, hedge funds often try to profit from stocks that are failing. This is also known as shorting. Here's how it works. Let's assume that you think Meta stock is gonna fall because Apple announces a new privacy policy that you think is gonna hurt Facebook's ad revenue. What do? You borrow a share of Meta stock from your broker, let's say $100, then you sell it immediately for $100. Now let's assume that you were right and Meta stock indeed falls down to $70. You then buy back the stock for $70, return it to your broker, and pocket the $30 difference. Sounds simple, right? Well, that is if you're right. If you're wrong and the stock price increases instead of decreasing, you still owe that share to the broker and you have to buy it back at a higher price. And this can lead to huge losses. Hedge funds can afford these risks because they have the resources to analyze the market in debt and have a large team of experts monitoring the situation. The power of debt in this case allows them to profit even when stocks fall. Before we continue with the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this. Moving on to Forex trading. Forex trading is another area where debt can also be used strategically. If you're not familiar with Forex trading, Forex is the market where currencies are traded. The value of currencies change based on a lot of different economic factors, and if you can predict these movements, you can make a lot of money. In Forex trading, for every dollar you trade, you can borrow up to $100. That means you can trade with 100 times the amount of money you have in your account. Let's say you have $1,000 to trade, but you can hold $100,000 thanks to leverage. A small profit of just 1% on your trade is now a huge return. Of course, there's a catch. There's always a catch. Leverage can amplify both profits and losses. So if you win big. But if you lose, you also lose big. When used correctly, Forex trading can be another example of how debt can be a powerful tool for wealth building. The last piece of the puzzle is your credit score. Your credit score is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal. Essentially, it's a measure of how reliable you are when it comes to borrowing money. The better your credit score, the more favorable the terms on loans and credit you can get. But why is this important? Well, because businesses rely heavily on credit. If you've built a strong enough credit history, you can borrow money at lower interest rates, enabling you to make larger investments and grow your business faster. Banks have billions, even trillions of dollars waiting to be lent out. If you've built a strong enough credit record, you can tap into this massive pool of money, and often at better terms than those who have weaker credit histories. So while bad debt, think high interest credit card debt, can be destructive, good debt, like using your credit score to borrow money for profitable investments, is a tool that can catapult you to financial success. At the end of the day, debt is just like anything that's a tool. It's not necessarily good or bad. It all comes down to how you use it. Rich people are smart with their use of debt and also have strategies to continue to grow their fortunes. And it's not necessarily exclusive to them. You can also use it to your advantage. By understanding the principles I've shared with you, you can make debt work for you rather than against you. So next time you hear someone say that debt is evil, remember this. It's not debt itself that's the problem, it's how you use it. If you use it poorly, then it probably won't help you. But if you use it wisely, like how rich people do, then it'll help you. Simple as that. And now, it's not the wealthy that knows these secrets. Now you do too. If you like this video, make sure to click the subscribe button to have more videos like this. And also click on this video to learn how you can get paid to chat. Yes, to chat. Amazing!